And then they say, oh, that guy seems suspicious, or that fact didn't seem to match up, and then they all of a sudden create a suspect where really there shouldn't have been one. And we see that happening a lot.
Too often.
Yeah, and the goal, of course, in my class, and what I've been teaching for years, is that we want to eliminate those innocent people, and if the person is going to be guilty, a mere confession is not enough. Just because someone confesses to me, I don't believe it. I want them to prove to me that they committed the crime, and all too often it doesn't happen that way in law enforcement. We need to do that.
What do you think, how do you think a person like Bernie Madoff hid his deception? Do you know what I'm trying to say? If there were a lot of people out there
I think
who
he
were...
was probably good with his words, and people trusted him. He probably, if I don't know Bernie Madoff,
No, but
I
you
just
know what
watched
I
on
mean?
television,
Yeah.
but my best guess is with most of these people that I've dealt with over the years, they have an ability to develop a high level of rapport. They know how to read people, they know how to get people to move on. They develop a very high level of rapport, and they could lie to the person's face, and the person may even think they're lying, but trust them because their level of rapport is so high. So he could say to you, you know what, I'm going to take your money, and I'm going to triple your money in a year. No doubt about it. He wouldn't say that until after he has a high level of rapport, and then people will just want to believe it. They want to believe it because they like the
And,
person.
you know, Kirk Douglas is doing it, and this guy's doing it, and
Right,
that guy's
right,
doing it.
and they like him.
So-and-so's in for
Right.
$50 million,
And I bet
or
if he were
whatever.
here with us today, you know, and if he wanted to, we'd just really like the guy. You know, they just have that ability to attract people to themselves, and they're able to develop this rapport thing, which is really powerful stuff.
John, as a student of learning body language,
Mhm.
could you read someone who's not telling you the truth and pick up on it right away that this person? And with that being said, if you want to lie, could you prevent yourself from making those same mistakes?
No, here's the thing. This is interesting. I'm a terrible liar because I know all this stuff.
Mhm.
So when I'm at home, and you know, my wife will be looking at me, and I'm watching television or whatever, and there's a kicking gesture, you know, as an example, and she'll say, "Hey, you're kicking me." And I go, well, no, I'm trying to watch the news. Well, actually, she's talking to me about something that happened during the day. I get home, I'm watching the news, it's on right now. She's saying something that is truly important, but I'm kind of focused on the news, and so she's talking, and I move my leg or whatever a certain way, and she sees it. You know, it's like, darn it, you know. Okay, you know, put the TV on mute, okay, you know, so.
I think George has a question for you.
I have this just in. This is a police trivia question.
Oh, God.
All right.
I'm going to put Senator Milner on the spot, and then Laura, I'll have one for you too. And as a matter of fact, you can answer this one. Where does the term paddy wagon come from? Do you know?
You know, I did and I don't.
I'll tell you where it comes from. I love the history of words. Paddy wagon is a phrase that evolved from the late 19th century, early 20th century. In Chicago, police were arresting young Irish men in mass because they were drinking. They were raiding these police bars, and Patrick is a common Irish name, and they'd put him on a wagon, and people would say, there goes a bunch of paddies. There's the paddy wagon, and that's where the phrase paddy wagon comes from. That's
great.
Cool.
Now, I am half Italian, so I could say this, Laura. I know you are too. Where does the phrase dago come from, which is a derivative for Italian?
Gee, I don't even know that one.
Because
I know Spapone.
Italian immigrants were paid as the dagos. They came in, they were
Dago
temporary
laborers.
So they got paid as the dagos, and there's a dago.
No kidding.
Now, is he lying or telling the truth then?
Just telling the truth.
As far as you know, it's the truth.
Yeah,
That's
Listen,
great.
Senator, I have some fill in the blanks here. You ready?
I am.
I consider myself a...
I can't do those.
Yeah, you can. Come on. I consider myself a diva. Oh.
Except
Well, I'm not a diva, I'm thinking, but,
a radio man.
yeah. A future radio guy. I mean, I don't know. You know, I don't want to sound corny, so.
Okay. When I'm under stress, I like to...
De-stress.
How do you de-stress? What do you do to relieve stress?
There's so many things that we all
Meditation?
can do. Yeah, you know, kind of meditate a little bit. I take my dog for a walk when I'm at home. Maybe I'll run. I'll maybe go to the gym. You know, it just depends on what it is. Just you know, talk to friends. That's the best thing you can do is have a group of people that you love, your family, your friends, that you can talk to, and I think that's one of the best things we all can do is just communicate with our friends and you know, do what we have to do. I just, you know, believe in people, and my whole life, I mean, it was all about people, so. It
You
just
are a
makes me-
people person,
Yeah, I
aren't
love
you?
people. I
God
love
bless
people.
you. If I could change one thing about myself, it would be... kicking my wife when the news is on when she wants to tell me something.
Well, I mean, my problem is a little bit of impatience and not dealing with frustration as well as I should.
Really?
Yeah.
That's mine too.
Yeah.
The most important person in my life is,
Oh, my family. I mean, it's my family.
Yeah.
It's, yeah, I'm blessed. I have a wonderful family. I have wonderful friends, and you know, I'm just blessed. I have good neighbors. I'm just so lucky to be. in
Where do
a
you
position
live?
I live in Carroll Stream.
Okay.
And, it's just really good, you know, where I live, and my family's just wonderful.
tell us about Debbie's struggle.
Well, my wife has had cancer, breast cancer. It started with about 14 years ago, I'm thinking, and it's interesting, and maybe for the listeners here, we don't mind sharing this story because maybe this will help others, but she had a little postcard that came in the mail and says, mammogram without a doctor, you know, and here's this address, and she took it and threw it in the garbage, and for some reason, she went to the garbage and pulled it back out. And she went and got the mammogram, and you know, sure enough, there's cancer, but it spread. And her first year, the survival rate was very low because it was lymph nodes all over, you know. So, just is what it is. And then she went through chemo and all this. And this is for the people that say when they tell you it's life expectancy is not that great, and this is not good, don't believe it. That was about 14 years ago or so. She is stage.
How old was she then?
I don't know
Just
for sure.
curious.
Yeah. She was in her 40s.
Okay.
She's 58 now.
Okay.
So anyway, so she did that, and she's been going through different treatments. And the other thing that we like to share with people is that even though she's stage 4, she has a positive attitude. I mean, the way she views it, like some people who maybe, as you are, diabetic, maybe I don't know if you have to get the shot or not, but
Yep.
if you're doing the shot, you got to do the shot every day, and then she has to do her chemo every other week, and it just is what it is. And and we know that as science goes on, that perhaps there's going to be a way to even deal with it more. Unfortunately, it's throughout her bones and stuff right now, and it's just one of those things. It's not a real a positive thing, but she's got a great attitude, which helps me a lot. It's hard for me to go to Springfield, but she'll just tell me, get out of here.
How long are you gone? And what kind of
It
chunks of
depends.
time?
When Blagojevich was governor, I lived more in Springfield than I did here up here in this area. But now it's getting to be manageable. They're just about 3 days a week during the session, or so 4 days a week sometime. And in May, maybe we're there 6 or 7 days. But that's it. Then the summertime, we're not there. We're back up here working out of our offices.
I told you, like I tell all my friends, if you need blood, bone marrow, or bale, call me.
No, thank you. But I mean,
Just
for other people here, it's
That's a
just
wonderful story. Well, Pat Keeney is a well-known business owner that's struggling right now with cancer, so we're wishing her the
And may I
best.
say this to them, you never know. Every case is different. Everyone out there who's got cancer, every case is different. My mom in early 1990s got cancer. They said that was it. She's done. My mom will be 92 February 5th.
No way.
Yeah, so don't believe it.
Wonderful
Every case
stories.
is different.
One more note we just received on George Rawlinson's phone text. Jeff Swoboda not only is the police chief here in Elgin, you were his teacher in college, we're told.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Yeah,
right.
that's what we just received at 352 text.
Oh, cool.
From Jeff
Yeah.
Swoboda, who was glued to
Was
the
he
radio,
Aurora?
I'm
Was he
sure.
my Aurora student? I taught at Aurora
Yeah,
University. for
I know he went to Western for some of his
Yeah,
criminology, but he did some Aurora
I
time
taught
as
at
well.
Northwestern, Aurora. I taught in other places.
So congratulations, Jeff. You're a star pupil
Hey,
right
thanks,
there.
Jeff. Hey, that's cool.
That's
And we
great.
would like to get him and his wife on.
Yeah, they're dancing at your future story on January 29th at Crystal Lake and the Pads Gathering. They are a dance couple this year. They are a dance couple.
Does he dance with his cape on, or does he take it off for the dance?
That's right.
Superman
Both.
cape?
Oh my goodness,
This is a
yes.
dedicated chief. Again, it proves my point.
That's great.
Listen,
Good
it's
man.
save the date, Pads Dance, Dance with the Stars, January 29th. We have 2 minutes left, and we have to thank our special guest, Illinois State Senator John Milner. Thank you for coming on the Laura Dion-Jones Show today and sharing some of your personal life with us.
Thanks so much for having
All
me.
the holidays best to you, and of course, Jeff, Mike, Valerie the Swan, and thank you to all of our loyal listeners, and a special shout out to Karen Hazeman, a loyal listener holding down the fort at Pat Keeney's place. Speaking of which, the benefit fashion show and auction this past Saturday at Villa Verone
Tremendous.
was wonderful, and I know they raised a lot of money for Pat. God bless Pat, and she needs our prayers. Next week, it's December 22nd already. Our special guest will be cookbook author Daryl Garr, and a few other surprises. And on January 5th, USO and Senior Services entertainer Kalia Jefferson will be in to dish. And Northern Illinois Food Bank, 630-443-6910. And Elgin's Biggest Loser, January 5th, 5 to 6 p.m., Taylor YMCA, elginsbiggestloser.com. And I was going to talk to you guys about the Cubs playing Cuba in a Caribbean Classic that Ed Burke's got going on. Heh heh. Right?
Next time.
And okay, Dr. Clara Leos, thank you for
Yes.
being one of our sponsors. Why Incredible Programs. Snob Hounds, think Nike meets Donna Karen but for canines. And Casey, thanks again for making this show possible. Thanks for listening, everyone. Happy holidays from all of us. We'll see you next Wednesday on the Laura Dion-Jones Show. Let's work hard to end all wars. And Semper Fi, boys.